Her eyes filled with tears when she saw what her older son did to a younger brother. Gloria McIntosh from Ohio is a mother of 6 who works as a writer when she isn't busy bringing up her kids. Even though her husband always helps her and provides so-needed support, there are still some moments when the woman wishes to have additional hands and eyes to keep a close watch on her kids. That's actually why they decided to install a baby monitor in her youngest child's room. One night, her 10-year-old son did something to her baby that left her in tears. The little boy didn't know anything about the camera and thought everyone else in the house was sleeping. Most children start to panic when they get to know their mommy is pregnant one more time. For them, it means they'll no longer be their parents' favorite anymore. Luckily, this fear disappears over time, and they love having a brother or sister to share their lives with. Most kids grow out of this phase and start being inseparable from their brothers and sisters as the years go by. But this process can take a lot of time. Thus, many parents are afraid their older kids may harm their newborn siblings out of jealousy. In fact, that's what Gloria was afraid of. Gloria is convinced that what someone does when there is no one else around says a lot about the person's true nature. She taught her 6 kids to share these values with her. Was it possible that one of them neglected his mother's words? The McIntosh family knows better than anyone else that a newborn baby is a boss in the family and requires a lot of attention every single day. Like any other newborn kid, 18-month-old Grayson often cried when he was hungry or needed changing. But that night, Gloria was too exhausted and desperately needed a break. So when Grayson started crying in the middle of the night, she didn't jump out of bed and go to her son. The little baby was crying so loudly and so long that his wailing was penetrating every wall. He was too young to understand that other people in the house were trying to sleep. His brother Mason was the one who got really nervous that night and did something that deeply shocked his mother. The 10-year-old boy did his best to ignore the yell, but to no avail. He had placed his pillow over his head and tried to sing a little tune to drown out the noises. Nothing helped, even the sheeps the boy started to count. Finally, Mason plucked up the courage to take drastic measures. Enough was enough. Mason needed to sleep as he had classes the next morning. He also knew he wouldn't get any sleep unless he took charge of the situation. So, he decided to take control of it and got up to visit his baby brother. The boy had the mission to calm down his little brother at any cost, but he had no idea that he was being watched the entire time. Would he have done the same if he had known about the camera? The parents were watching their son through a baby monitor. At first, Gloria was afraid of the worst, as sibling rivalry was common for kids Mason's age. But what he did was truly shocking. A baby monitor in the room was installed as the parents wanted to keep an eye on their kid without having to get up every 5 minutes and check whether the baby is okay. It also served as a security deterrent in case someone tried to kidnap the baby. When the 4th grader reached out to grab his baby brother, Gloria thought she should better go there and stop Mason. But her gut feeling told her to wait and see what the 10-year-old boy did. McIntosh tried to hold her tears, which were not from sadness. She saw Mason hugging Grayson before lifting him out of his crib with his own 2 hands. Then, things went even more heartwarming. Mason decided it would be cool to give his little brother a few toys to calm him down. He wiped his nose and read to him a book for a little while. When the baby stopped crying, the boy put him back in the crib, but he didn't go away. The boy didn't want his little brother to stay alone in the middle of the night. He could have simply turned off the lights and left, but instead, he climbed into the crib, took a blanket, and stayed with him. Mason suggested that waking up his mother would be a bad idea, as he knew that she was working so hard every day. He thought she was sound asleep in her bed, and he didn't want to bother her. Thus, the boy decided to stay with his little brother, which warmed his mother's heart. "I was smiling the whole time," she told Today Parents. "He has a love for Grayson that is unspeakable. I can't even really explain it." Don't forget that Mason was a child himself. Nevertheless, he was so gentle with his younger brother. Macintosh kept on watching her two sons through the baby monitor, but then she realized her son also needs a break. He was probably tired as well. It was 3 a.m. So the woman went to relieve him. "I asked him, 'Why didn't you just come and get me in the first place?'" Macintosh explained. "He was just like, 'You had a big day, and I just wanted you to get some rest.'" Mason's kind heart overwhelmed her, but she wasn't surprised. Instead of madly waking up his mother, the boy spent over 30 minutes watching over little Grayson. Mason was a type of person with a kind-hearted nature, and Macintosh was proud of him.